Hello everybody and welcome to Georgiana, Alabama. We are here live and on location at the Hank Williams Festival. You know, Mom and Dad used to carry all of us Guyton kids up here just about every summer. And Gene Watson would be here and George Jones, I believe, and so many other those great country music artists that you hear on J3 Radio. If you don't have the J3 Radio app, I suggest you go ahead and get that right now. But anyway, we are so excited to be here, and we're going to be talking to T. Graham Brown in just a few minutes. The Burning Bush family is here, great friends of ours, and we're looking forward to talking to them. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to try to bring you all the coverage we can, all the footage we can bring you from here tonight, and we know it'll be an encouragement to you, and maybe next year you can come along and be here with us and be a part of all the excitement. There's some folk going on the stage now. The gates opened actually at 3 o'clock. So there's all kind of excitement, music, all to remember, I guess, the king of country music, Hank Williams. So many great songs right here from these streets in Georgiana, Alabama. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned to this special celebration program on location.
From the Building of Faith, welcome to Celebration, a Christian talk and variety show with outreaches across the world via television, radio, internet, and social media. You'll hear from today's leading authors, preachers, singers, evangelists, songwriters, and local Christian leaders. Now here's your host, President and founder of Journey Network, Dr. J.T. Guyton.
Seriously, we are here with Wyatt. Say it for me.
Alaman.
Hey, where are you from, man?
Well, I'm from Texas, all the way down to Texas.
Okay.
I was born in Columbus, but we have a little place out there, kind of out in the mesquite, where the mesquite grows, out in Harwood, Texas.
Yeah. Okay, that is awesome. So I saw yesterday on I think it was the museum somewhere around here, over here maybe. Yeah, there it is. And they did a Facebook Live yesterday, and you were just standing around singing. And I said, well, we got to talk to him when we go. So what brought this about? What caused you to start singing like Hank?
Well, a family member of mine, I was about 16, 17 years old, and he had that album called 20 Greatest Hits of Hank Williams. And he said, here, I want you to take this, listen to it, do your homework on it, and, come back and give me the best Hank Williams impression you got. And I came back, and I guess I started making him cry. He said, thank you, son. I really appreciate it. So, and it was a loan, actually. I forgot to say that. And I gave it to him. He said, no, keep it. So, yeah, I've kept it ever since. And I've been buying more and more Hank Williams stuff, and I've been catching on with this kind of tribute.
Yeah. So were you already playing the guitar, or did you pick that? Okay, I got you. And how old are you?
20 years old.
20 years old. All right, so you're about at the good age to do that in. Tell me what do you want to do with music in life? What's your goal? And
well, I want to go to college and become a music teacher.
Sweet.
Teach this kind of music to people that don't really know about this stuff, because I'm telling you, this stuff is gold and it's timeless.
That's right. That's awesome. So you travel around. Do you have a website people can go to and check it out? Or
no, sir, but I do have a Facebook page. It's called the Wyatt Allman Fan Club.
Okay.
And I have my own little profile on there, just Wyatt Allman on Facebook.
Now, what is your favorite Hank Williams song?
Oh, I don't think I could tell you that, because there's pages and pages of Hank Williams songs that I just love so dearly to me.
And he wrote as many gospel songs as he did country. Is that right?
Yes, sir. He was a very, very religious man towards God.
Yeah.
Despite all the hardships he's went through, he always had God to look after him.
Yeah. So sing me a verse and a chorus of one, all right?
Yeah, my book has got a hole in it. Yeah, my book has got a hole in it. Yeah, my book has got a hole in it. I can't buy no beer.
How about that? There you go, right here, man. And you're going to be back tomorrow, is that right?
Yes, sir, from 12 to 12:30 on the Hank the Man segment, where we got a bunch of Hank Williams impersonators and tribute guys going on stage out here. And then I come back with myself at 2 to 2:30.
Okay. Singing more Hank. Yes, sir. Now, do you sing stuff besides Hank?
Yes, sir, I do. Well, I'm from the state of Texas, so we love our honky-tonk and western swing music.
Do us a little western swing.
Let's see. Corrine, Corina, where you been so long? Corrine, Corina, where you been so long? Ain't had no lovin' since you been gone.
That's awesome. Go check him out on Facebook, and if he's going to be in your area, you definitely want to go. I promise you, you'll enjoy it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Georgiana, Alabama. And I'm sitting here today with one of my heroes, musical heroes. Like, this guy would come on TNN, and I was like, gosh, I got to get a shirt like that. And like, he's got one of those shirts on today. I mean, just the coolest dresser and singer, T. Graham Brown.
Yay! So, it's funny. A lot of people won't even know what TNN is.
Oh, well, that's true. I forgot. You might better tell them.
They had this, back in the day, there was this network called the Nashville Network. And it was all country music, country lifestyle, all country.
Yeah.
And they had this nightly show that Ralph Emery, and Ralph Emery was a legendary DJ, host, interviewer.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine how they did 90 minutes of live country music, 5 days a week. And they had to write some of that stuff. It's amazing to me. Because I did Nashville Now 56 times.
Oh, wow, wow.
So they had a house band. It was cool as all get out. They had a house band, and you'd come out and sing, and the house band would play, or sometimes you bring your own band. And every now and then they'd have a comedian. But it was great, man. They had a fishing show, and they had a video show when videos finally came out.
That's when TV was good.
It was really neat. And it was on cable, and so you had to have cable to.
Yeah.
Back when there was such a thing, there's hardly any cable left. It's all internet. But
I can't imagine doing that many hours of live television.
me neither.
That many nights a week.
90 minutes a night, 5 nights a week.
Live television is stressful to me.
Well, it is stressful. I hosted that show a few times. It was called Nashville Now, was the name of the show. If you want to go back, I assume you can go back and
on YouTube.
YouTube
they're
and,
on there.
and
Yes,
see
sir.
some of those.
Yes, sir.
So if you want to see something cool, go check out Nashville Now on YouTube, because they got all the old school guests used to come on there, man.
Yeah.
All my heroes used to come on there.
I saw one the other day because I love retro television. I love all those old shows, but I saw one the other day, and I guess I did not know the connection there until I started doing some research for this interview with you. But I saw some with Keith Whitley, and you and Keith were like huge buddies and toured together and all that.
I was just showing our driver and his mama were on here a minute ago, some pictures of Keith and I.
Really?
From,
wow.
Golly, 80. He died in 89, so these pictures were probably from 89.
Wow.
Because we were out on the road together, came back to Nashville to take a couple of days off. We're fixing to go back out, and that's when he died, before we went back out.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
And there's a picture of Steve Warner and Keith and I. So I think we might have been all three doing some shows together.
Yeah.
It's been a long time ago. It's hard for me to remember.
I understand. I want to go way back. I want to go back to something that I saw. I have to have notes nowadays to help me here. But I want to go back and ask you a question about a band, T. Graham Brown's Rack of Spam. Tell me.
T. Graham Brown's Rack of Spam. Oh, I was living in Athens, Georgia.
Yeah.
I started out singing R&B music.
Okay.
I spent 9 years in the clubs.
Okay. Wow.
paying dues.
Yeah.
So my first thing, when I was going to the University of Georgia, a buddy of mine from high school and I sang at the local Holiday Inn 5 nights a week,
Wow.
4 sets a night, and we sang for the kids. It was all University of Georgia
Yeah,
kids, our peers.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And we played R&B. It was called Southern Beach music.
Okay.
But anyway, it was really popular with the fraternity and sorority crowd. So we did that. We'd play at night and get up in the morning and go to class and
Okay.
made our money and paid our bills and tuition and all with our singing money.
Well, I got to say that was a pretty cool name.
Well, I'm saying, but what I got was the first 3 years it was Dirk and Tony. My name's Tony.
Okay.
That's what the T is.
Okay. Okay.
So it was Dirk and Tony, and everybody knew me from high school at school as Tony Brown.
Oh.
That was my name,
Yeah.
Tony Brown.
Yeah.
So then I did that for 3 years. Then I came home one day and saw a documentary on TV of David Allen Coe.
Oh. Wow.
And he was talking about outlaw this and being in prison that, and my hair was really short and I wore starched button down 100% cotton shirts,
I hear
khaki
you.
pants,
Yeah.
and penny loafers. So I came home one day, I watched that and I said, I'm gonna be that guy.
Okay.
So I quit that thing, I grew my hair out long. I got some pictures back there of me, grew my hair out long and just got wild.
Yeah.
In a band that I named T. Graham Brown and Rio Diamond,
Okay.
R-E-O Diamond.
All right.
So I did that. That would have been up to about 79, from 76, 75 to 79, country rock, outlaw, all this.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Urban Cowboy came out and everybody in the world started being a country band.
Yeah.
And I wasn't any different
Okay.
then. So I said, well, I can't be like this. I'm going to go totally soul music.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I came up with the name T. Graham Brown's Rack of Spam. It was probably a wild night that I thought it up.
Yeah.
So then I did just straight soul music, a lot of Motown stuff, Memphis, a lot, Otis Redding, Four Tops, Temptations,
Wow.
but you know, that kind of stuff. And I did that for 3 years. Sheila was going to school. Sheila finished up. She's got 2 master's degrees, one in dairy science and one in animal nutrition.
Oh, wow.
And she was accepted to the vet school there.
Okay.
And she was going to be a veterinarian. This was in 1982. She came home one day and said, let's go to Nashville. And I said, well, what about vet school? And she said, well, I can always come back and go to vet school if it don't work out. She said, and God bless her heart, because she's always been so supportive. She said, if you don't go to Nashville and try, you're going to be second guessing yourself the rest of your life. So we got to do this. So we just packed up, and we had a 59 Ford and a 63 Volkswagen. And we packed up and moved to Nashville and never looked back. We started all over. She started working on, waiting on tables at restaurant at night and working in a department store during the day, and I was walking the streets on Music Row singing songwriter demos for $20 a pop.
Wow.
First year I was in Nashville, I made $900.
Oh my goodness.
So she was earning a living.
Yeah.
And then it just got better and better, and singing those songwriter demos, the song, we'd go in, somebody would write a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we would go in the studio and take that song, which was usually just a guitar vocal or piano vocal, and we'd go in and cut a full demo of it. It sounded like records. You cut it the same way as you make records.
Yeah.
And have guitar, bass, drums, keyboards, whatever it needed.
Sure.
And by the time we were done with it, me singing the lead vocal and background vocal, it sounded like a record.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm telling you, it's just like making a record when you do it that way. Then the songwriters and the publishers would pitch that version of that song to artists, to record labels, and trying to get the song cut. And that's how they did it. They pitch it around to all the different labels. So anyway, Capitol Records they kept hearing demos that I was singing on. And they started going, hey, that's a good song, but who's that guy singing? And that's how I got my record deal, is through singing demos.
Wow.
And then, and in the meantime, I was doing commercials, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Hardee's,
Yeah.
KFC, Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew, 7-Up,
Wow.
Dr. Pepper, every beer, Budweiser, Stroh's, Miller, Coors,
Yeah.
every car and truck. Sometimes you feel
Whatever
like
you
a
had to
nut,
do.
sometimes you
Yeah.
don't. I did that for 7 years. So I did a bunch of
Wow.
I was,
Yeah.
if they wanted a raspy voiced
Yeah.
singer on a commercial, I'd get the call.
Okay.
The first one I ever did was a McDonald's that aired in the Super Bowl, and it was really successful, and that kind of got my foot in the big time
Yeah. Yeah.
of commercials.
So if you were playing like a bluesy whatever type band in college, is that what you wanted to do, or was it not country and you just, how did that happen?
Well, we moved to Nashville and started all over.
Yeah.
It was kind of like this. For example, when I Tell It Like It Used to Be came out, that was my
yeah.
first hit,
Yeah.
my first real hit. I
Yeah.
had one that before that went to number 39. It barely made the top 40, but the second one was I Tell It Like It Used to Be, and it was a big hit. So it was kind of like, I'm a soul guy
Yeah.
in Nashville,
Yeah.
and they put the song out to country radio,
Okay.
and we had a hit on it, so it was kind of like, I have a country hit, therefore I am country now.
Gotcha.
But I'm as soulful
Yeah.
and a soul man as much now
Yeah.
and back then as I ever was.
Yeah.
I didn't change the way I sang
Yeah.
or
yeah.
anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I Tell It Like It Used to Be. It's got horns all over it.
Yeah.
I had a lot of horns on my record. I was the only guy putting horns on records in 1985. And
Wow.
You know, some of my songs had sax solos in it,
Yeah.
horn, trumpets, a full horn section. So anyway, it was kind of like, hey, I'm in Nashville, therefore I'm country.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it worked.
It worked. And I
it's
didn't
good.
argue. I didn't argue with it because the next song they put out was a big hit. Next song it was so.
Yeah.
We had a decent run at radio. You know, I never was the biggest star in the world, but I've been able to.
You're too kind to yourself.
Well, I've been able to keep working.
Yeah.
All these years.
Yeah.
So the first hit I had was in 1985.
Okay.
So man, that's 40 years ago.
That's hard to believe.
And I started singing for a living in Athens in 1973. So that's 52 years I've been singing for a living.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That's
man.
a blessing.
It is a
To be
blessing.
able to do what you love.
It is a blessing. It's amazing. I can't believe it's been that long, man.
My
You
goodness,
know,
time flies.
And we're still at it, and we're still having fun, and I got a radio show on Sirius
Yeah.
XM that I do. I've been doing it 6 years. It's called Live Wire, and we play only live cuts from artists' live albums. That's the whole concept
Yeah.
of the show.
Yeah.
It's like going from concert to concert to concert. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it a long time, and I get in a movie every now and then,
Yeah.
and I just
Y'all
get
just
to cut
sound-
my grass. I love cutting grass. I
Yeah.
get my old push more out and
Yeah.
cut grass. It's just like we're regular people,
Yeah.
man. We ain't rich and we don't live in a mansion. We're like working people.
That's it.
We go to the grocery store like
Yeah.
everybody else does, and we pay our mortgage house note just
Yeah.
like everybody else does.
I was telling my nephew and niece on the way up here, growing up, my parents would bring me and my two sisters to the Hank Williams, festival. That was almost like going to church. You had to go, and to me, the biggest highlight and memory of me was one of the guys they had a lot was Gene Watson, and we were coming up here one time, and Gene passed us in his bus, and he was driving. And man, to me, that was just like the biggest thing. But talking to you and like guys like him, y'all have just been like so steady in country music though. And I think, my opinion, and I don't amount to a whole lot, but you guys have kind of like kept it You know, even though it gets off into these other whatever, people still know you guys are going to keep it real. And
We
keep
try.
It, yeah, and y'all do
Gene's
good
one of
though.
my best friends.
Yeah.
I saw him the other night, and golly, when did they make him a member of the Opry, Sheila? So he's been a member of the Opry. I've been a member of the Opry. May was a year.
Wow.
So it's
What's
fun.
that like? Tell me how that feels.
It's the biggest thing that's ever happened to me and Sheila.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's when you look at the grand scheme of things, there's not very many members of the Grand Ole Opry, so it's a pretty elite fraternity to be in, you know.
And you've sang on the Opry how many times?
Probably 400 and something.
Wow.
So what's crazy is, and I'm glad they did it eventually,
Yeah.
but I've been going out there for 40 years, man.
Well, I was going to ask.
And I've been out there, I've loved the Opry
Sure.
my whole career, and they finally pulled the trigger and invited me, Vince Gill invited me to be a member, so,
Yeah.
and I was never like getting my feelings hurt or anything because they hadn't asked me yet. We just kept hoping and feeling like it would happen,
Yeah.
but we never lobbied for it.
Right, right.
We never approached the management and said, would you please make
Yeah.
us a member? We never
Yeah.
did any of that. We never asked them one time.
Yeah.
We just didn't want to be that,
Yeah.
you know, that
Sure,
kind of guy.
sure.
Because people ask them that all the
Oh,
time.
I can imagine.
And different people's managers will go in there and ask them, and we just didn't want to do that.
Well, it happens in God's time. don't it?
Exactly, everything.
He knows how to do it, and I think it's great, and it happened when it was supposed to happen for sure. Now I want to go back because we were talking off camera about a song that talking about you was one of my musical heroes, and Laverne Tripp was one of my musical hero and Christian television heroes. And the first time I heard this song, I thought, man, Laverne, you have knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And Laverne's like,
I love this version.
Laverne said, I didn't write that. T. Graham Brown wrote it. And then I was like, how have I not heard this on the radio? And of course, after that, I went looking, and I'm like, oh yeah,
But
there it is.
you know, it never was a hit.
But it should have been Wine into Water.
They didn't play it. I mean, we put it out,
Yeah.
but it was on a little independent label. We put it out. It got up in the 40s, but it
Yeah.
never was a big hit. But people have found that song over the years. Alcoholics and addicts have found that song, and it's amazing. Somebody put it on YouTube. When you add up all the versions, there's a bunch of versions of Wine into Water on YouTube. And you add them up, it's like 9 or 10 million views, which is a lot. And they're all basically addicts and alcoholics or their families.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you go on YouTube and type in Wine into Water, the first one that pops up it's the first time I ever sang it in public was at the Ryman Auditorium. We were filming a thing called Ryman Country Homecoming, I think was the name of it. And Willie and Waylon and Chet Atkins and Gene Watson, and there was a bunch of stars in this semicircle.
That was before Larry done them, right?
Before Larry done them.
Right, yeah.
And so I was on the back row. Lynn Anderson was there. I think B.J. Thomas was there. I'm trying to remember, it was a bunch of them there.
Yeah.
And when it came my turn to sing, I stood up and sang Wine and Water. I think it was the first time I'd ever sung it in public.
Wow.
Was at the Ryman. And so it got a standing ovation. They were crying, you know, Waylon and them. It was an emotional thing.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of them crying, and there was a lot of kind of guilty faces, you know, hanging their head down. And
A little conviction.
well, that maybe had done a bunch of bad things, and maybe were still doing them.
I understand.
And that song hit them. But anyway, somebody put it on YouTube, and I urge anybody that wants to hear Wine into Water, go on YouTube, type it in, the first one that pops up, click on it, and read some of the comments. There's almost 2,000 comments. I check it every now and then.
Yeah.
And there's almost 2,000 comments, and you can scroll through those comments and see what Wine into Water has done in people's lives.
Yeah.
God has used that song That song's anointed, I have no doubt, and it has helped countless people around the globe. I read a comment, one guy said, I'm in Birmingham, England, I just left a meeting of 500 people and they were all standing up singing Wine into Water.
Whoa.
There was a guy in India got in touch with me and said, I saw your video of Wine into Water. We have a bad drug and alcohol problem in India. I made a movie and it's called Grace, and it's like a real movie. And they're singing Wine into Water. There's like the theme song of the movie. They're singing Wine into Water in this language I don't understand. And there's drug deals going down in that movie. A guy shoots himself in the head and all that. And you know, Wine into Water, I've had people come up to me, and also some of the comments that they were fixing to kill themselves and turn the radio on, and Wine into Water came on and they changed their mind.
Wow.
So
how many people have prayed that?
I know, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just a God thing. It's so good.
Tonight I'm as low as any man can go. I'm down and I can't fall much farther. And once upon a time you turn the water into wine. And now on my knees I'm turning to you, Father. Could you help me turn the wine back into water?
I was just talking to a lady sitting right here. She's just in the last year has gotten out of jail, meth addict,
Oh, man.
prostitute,
Wow.
and she straightened up. She got straightened up.
Amen.
And we prayed for her. I prayed for her right here in the bus. And so it's so good. Sheila and I, I sing for a living,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
But Sheila and I think our main thing is trying to help people get straightened out. Save people some trouble.
Yeah.
Learn from me, because I went through this thing too, man. And my bipolar, my mental ill, I'm mentally.
We are so glad you have been with us for this program. Our prayer is that today's show has been a blessing and an encouragement to you and your walk with the Lord. This ministry is continually reaching out to spread the good news of Jesus Christ to all the world. We need your love gifts and prayers to help keep this ministry on the air 24 hours a day. So call us at 1-833-963-5433 or write us at Journey Network, P.O. Box 1420, Atmore, Alabama 36504. Or you can contact us online at journeynetwork.live. If you would like to have JT come speak to your church, conference, or event, please visit our website and go to the event scheduling tab. Thank you for your continued support. And remember, God loves you and we do too.